KREM 2 News begins now.
It's been a busy week for news across the inland Northwest. Let's get you caught up with the KREM 2 News Week in Review. I'm Tim Pham. Thanks for joining us here on KREM 2 Plus. Here now is a look at some of the biggest stories from this past week.
The family is just heartbroken over the loss of little Amelia. They say she will always be remembered as the light in the room. Her uncle told me this afternoon Amelia was with her mom and brother on their way to a hockey tournament in Canada, one that they never made it to. Tonight I'm outside the Eagles Ice Arena. This is the home rink for Amelia's brother Patrick. The greater hockey community and the teams that play and practice here have spent the last few days honoring Amelia and supporting her family. The Spokane hockey community is rallying around 5-year-old Amelia and her family. She died in a head-on crash near Elmira. Her mom and brother are recovering from critical injuries.
She was so excited to get to watch her older brother play like she has in the past. So this hockey community has been truly supporting of us in our hour of need. Amelia's uncle, Philip Sears, has found comfort in the gestures of support this week. Spokane Junior Chiefs shared these photos showing teams of all ages kneeling in a moment of silence. Others donned the family's last name on their jerseys. 2, 3, Patrick! That's 7-year-old Patrick's team. They wore his jersey number on the back of their helmets. And the greater hockey community is also supporting the family by placing their hockey sticks on the porch, using the hashtag #SticksOutForAmelia. Philip says the family is just overwhelmed by all the support they've received. We absolutely appreciate the love that this community, people I've never spoken to, I don't know. They don't know our family, but the amount of love that they show for Amelia is what's going to get us through. He says his sister and nephew are still in the hospital and have a long road of recovery ahead. As for Amelia, she won't easily be forgotten. She will be remembered as the light in the room. She loved to talk to everyone. She loved to tell everyone long stories. She will forever be remembered. Idaho State Police are still investigating this crash. They're asking the public to share any videos or photos that might help in their investigation. We have their contact information posted on KREM.com. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, I'm on North Crestline Street where early this morning police say that a driver crashed into a light pole and then in someone's yard. Police say this happened after an officer tried to pull the driver over not far from here, and then the driver then took off.
It does spoil your day for sure, you know.
Eric Coyle lives in the home where the driver and the car ended up.
I heard a crash, looked out my window, and it was tumbling in my yard, and the pole dropped on top of it. It's pretty crazy.
Police say the crash followed an attempt by an officer to pull the driver over. The lieutenant I talked with to confirm the details told me it's unknown why the officer wanted to stop the driver. However, when the driver didn't stop with the police car's lights and sirens on, the officer behind the wheel stopped following the car as part of the police pursuit policy. Police say the driver was a woman, and the woman a short time later crashed the car into a light pole and also damaged the home's fence.
And I was sitting upstairs and I heard a loud crash. To me it sounded like somebody throwing something big and heavy into the back end of a pickup truck.
Coyle says the woman of the wrecked car was definitely speeding. He also said the woman was unconscious the entire time while the fire department was cutting the top of the car open. The witness told me there was also a man in the car and he could hear him screaming after the crash.
You wake up happy and excited, and then you see that and then have to listen to somebody screaming all the commotion for like an hour, so it's kind of stomach turning.
The police cannot confirm right now why the officer originally tried to pull her over, which initiated the incident. Coyle said his roommate and him may repair the damaged fence themselves, depending on cost. Even with the crash, he was optimistic about still getting to his family's Thanksgiving dinner.
Drive safe and happy Thanksgiving.
As of now, police say the investigation is still ongoing. They cannot say yet if the woman will be charged, but we are told that the woman was rushed to the hospital and she is in critical condition. In North Spokane, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
Barbara Papke's lived in the Latah Valley neighborhood of Spokane for about 2 decades. Over the years, her home's given her a front row seat to the neighborhood's changes, including the recent development of more than 400 new homes. But she says the city didn't think things through in their planning, especially with Highway 195 right there.
I don't think they took into consideration how many houses would be up here, how many cars would be traveling on the road.
To address the issue, Spokane City Council is considering a resolution to study the area's growth and figure out the best way to move forward. If passed, the plan's to hire Burke Consulting out of Seattle for the project. The resolution's co-sponsor, Councilman Jonathan Bingle, expressed his support at Monday night's City Council meeting.
I hope that what it helps us understand is a pathway forward in that part of town. It's an area that is ripe for development that continues to be postponed.
Councilman Paul Dillon, who sponsored a moratorium on new construction in the area last spring, says he sees support from people living in the area.
This is something that the residents of Latah have been asking for 2 decades now.
But Papke says she's not hopeful about the changes coming to her neighborhood, even with the city looking for new ways to address it.
They have their own mindset and they're going to do what they want to do. And that's the way it's been in Spokane from what I understand. I have a lot of friends that have been here 50 years and they say the city doesn't pay attention. They just do what they want to do. It's Wild West, is what they used to say.
The City Council is expected to vote on the resolution on December 2nd. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Well, this time next week, Spokane City Council is expected to vote on deferring a Parks and Recreation levy again. But this time it's because the Parks Department is working with Spokane Public Schools to maybe share some assets, some resources, a move that both sides say will save taxpayers some money. They are some of the first lessons for first-time students.
What's that second one called?
Sharing and working together. It works in these halls and may work in the halls of city government, too.
We're always better together. A partnership always gets us to something that we didn't really think that we could get to.
It's how Spokane Public Schools and Spokane's Parks Department hope to rework some common tax problems.
We're 2 of the largest government entities in our area, and between the 2 of us, there's a wide range of facilities and pieces of property.
A joint work group has been studying up on how the 2 can share those assets and resources. As they both prepare to ask voters for more money, the district says it's smarter government.
$1 saved for Spokane Public Schools or $1 saved for the city of Spokane. Either way, it's $1 saved for our taxpayers.
Voters would still see 2 separate tax measures, though the collaboration could add some value, both sides say.
They have the facilities and parks, at least in my opinion, we have the programming ability. And combine that, we can generate something that we will not be able to do on our own.
Working together to tackle common issues, like the need for more space and updated infrastructure, with historic numbers of kids in after-school activities and more adults using parks for recreation.
We want kids out of their homes, off of their devices, together in real life, participating in things that we know are really good for them.
The partnership and a website will likely go live for public feedback early next year. So what may come out of this partnership could become a little more clear when the website launches and the partnership becomes public early next year. But it's the when that may take a little bit longer to figure out. Both sides need to decide which ballot they're going to put these measures on. That decision could come in March. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
It takes a lot to run an auto shop. It takes even more to adapt to changing prices.
We see things getting a little bit more expensive.
That's what co-owner of Martin's Auto Services, Brandon Barton, is worried about after President-elect Donald Trump announced plans to issue tariffs for foreign goods from specific countries when he takes office. He says he'd impose a 25% tax on products entering the U.S. from Canada and Mexico, and a separate 10% tariff on goods from China.
All the parts are made in Canada, Mexico, China. So yeah, it's probably not going to be a good thing for our customers.
They're parts such as brake rotors, which Barton says have already had a more than 50% increase.
$28 2 years ago, and now they're $48. So, and then since they're steel, all we see is them going up again.
Over the past 4 years, Barton tells me the batteries he sells are now at $180 compared to $130. Oil changes they offer are now more than $100. And Barton says the price of labor's proven challenging.
We got to keep the guys with a living wage, and unfortunately we just have to raise prices. We're still one of the lowest labor rates in town. We're trying to stay that way.
Trying to stay that way for his customers, as a change in his and other businesses' prices could be on the way come January.
We can only do our best, and let them know. And most of our customers understand what's going on and what's happening.
Once Republican Michael Baumgartner resigns from his current role as Spokane County Treasurer, the Spokane County Republicans and the Board of County Commissioners will have 60 days to appoint a nominee to fill that role.
In a release from the Spokane County Republicans, it says they will choose 3 Republican nominees for commissioners to choose from. If the Board of County Commissioners can't agree, then the governor will choose someone on that list to serve as treasurer. Right now, those interested in becoming treasurer can participate in the Spokane County Republicans' evaluation and vetting process. To be clear, this is not required for candidates to be considered for nomination. Evaluation forms are due by 5 p.m. this Friday. Then, the vetting committee will begin interviews on Saturday, December 7th. The top 3 nominees will then be presented to the Board of County Commissioners to select the next treasurer.
This is not unusual. This does occur in county governments quite frequently.
Whomever is appointed will serve as Spokane County's treasurer until November next year. But if they want to keep that position, they'll need to run for election.
Whomever is elected in the November 2025 election will serve for 1 year until December 31st, 2026. To keep that seat, they'll need to run for office again in the 2026 general election. That's when it returns to the normal 4-year cycle. So far, the Spokane County Republicans say 9 people will participate in the vetting and interview process to become the next treasurer. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Welcome back to the KREM 2 News Weekend Review. I'm Tim Pham. Let's get back now to some of the biggest news stories from the Inland Northwest this past week.
Wednesday and Sunday are expected to be those peak travel days, so we are prepping you whether you're in for a long drive to the west side over one of the passes or sticking close to home. It's almost an annual tradition, traffic congestion. If you or a loved one are traveling over Snoqualmie Pass, prepare for the backup. WashDOT charts show eastbound travel will see the most congestion Wednesday afternoon starting around 11. That could last all the way to 4 o'clock. On Sunday, eastbound travelers can expect to see moderate to congested traffic throughout the afternoon. For those sticking closer to home,
it's just going to be slow in general.
Ryan Overton with WashDOT East says we're still going to see some slowdowns on the interstate as people head off on a long weekend.
You know, the Freya Thor exit is already kind of a pinch point for congestion, and then all the way through Liberty Lake, and then as you head into Idaho, there will likely be some congestion, slower traffic, and higher volumes.
So maybe pack up the family and hit the road in the morning.
The peak travel time on Wednesday is probably going to be between about 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. So if you can avoid those times, either leave earlier or a little bit later.
And prepare to see more state troopers on Washington's roads. Emphasis patrols will be watching Snoqualmie Pass and the highways around Washington State University in particular. You'll see increased WSP presence on highways 26 and 195, where you may also expect increased traffic with WSU students heading back to school.
We do anticipate some increased traffic coming back on routes like 26, Highway 195, Friday into Saturday because there is the home Coug game.
Extra WSP patrols continue through this Sunday. Now, Overton says if you're planning a longer drive, do plan ahead for if you get stuck. That means check your tires and your oil, fill up on gas, and pack some snacks, warm gear, and maybe most importantly, not really, but some entertainment for the kids. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Yeah, well, I have been here all afternoon, and it's been pretty much a non-stop flow. I mean, it's a little dead behind me right now, but people are traveling from all across state lines to get to the inland Northwest. And like many who come to the area for the snow and mountains, the Hammond family from Dallas is no different.
My son and his girlfriend live in Boise, Idaho, and so they are flying in. We're waiting on them, and then we are all going to Schweitzer, Idaho. Yeah, just to get all the kids together and have fun and cook Thanksgiving all day long.
And like Hammond, she is just one of the 140,000 people that airport officials estimate will be traveling through the Spokane airport between now and December 1st. And officials say that this will be another record-breaking year as it follows 2023. And also peak times. What are those going to be looking like? Peak times are going to be leading up to Thanksgiving Day and immediately after between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. as well as between 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. So airport officials say to get on the road early, check in early so you can get on board relaxed. I am at the Spokane International Airport. Freaking Gallo, KREM 2.
I've been cleaning tables, giving people waters, hot chocolates. Can I get you anything?
Yeah, can I get another coffee, please?
Yeah, totally. It's fun to do if you know what you're doing.
You know, Thanksgiving is an opportunity for us to pause and remember all the things that we have in our lives, and also to remember that we all have things to be grateful for, and that gratitude is kind of an overflow into the lives of those around us. We've got some amazing volunteers here. We're all giving back. We're all together. We're all one community.
We have a lot in common. They may be a different walk of life, different nationality, but our one common goal is humanity.
I just think it's a great place to be, that everybody should learn to help each other. We're all in this together. Let's help each other and get through these hard times.
Can I get you anything else? Any drinks or anything?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, you're feeding the people that can't be fed or the people that are homeless. You know, like, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling.
You're a young man.
Thank you. I love what I'm doing right now, and I've always loved it. I've loved working with the people, and I love working for the people, practically.
I'm here inside the home of Susan McDonald Osborne, otherwise known as the global headquarters for the Spokane Helpers Network, where volunteers help provide countless meals in bags like this to community members in need.
Anyone can help someone else.
What started as a quick way to help people during the pandemic,
as I was reading people's struggles, I thought, is there something that I can do?
Has turned into a nonprofit located in the basement of this South Hill home that delivers both food and hygiene products to families on a tight budget across the county. Back in 2020, Susan McDonald Osborne made posts in multiple different groups on Facebook asking if there was anything she could do to help people who recently lost their jobs and couldn't provide for their families. What she didn't expect was the overwhelming response from like-minded community members.
I got responses from people who said, yeah, I want to join you. I want to help. I want to help. So that's where Spokane Helpers Network originated.
Now with close to 100 members and over $40,000 worth of necessities given out this year alone, Susan continues to see not only growth inside the network, but the need for it in the community as well. With every delivery, each person gets 3 meal kits for the week, which feeds a family of 4. All the ingredients are 100% donated and delivered by volunteers.
So we'll help people up to 3 times, no questions asked, and then we might start probing and guiding people toward other resources from bigger organizations.
Susan says for now, the nonprofit is here to stay, proving if there is a will to help those in need, especially during the holiday season, there's a way.
We have a lot of retirees who have said, yes, let's keep going.
Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Well, it looks looks like the holiday festivities have already started downtown at the Spokane skate ribbon, but there are many festivities to still look forward to for this Thanksgiving weekend.
Starting on Thanksgiving morning, get your tennis shoes on because there are 2 turkey trots happening in Spokane. The Bloomsday Roadrunners Club race is at Manitou Park. Or, if you're downtown, Negative Split is hosting the Huffin' for the Stuffin' race. Then you can head to Riverfront Park for even more holiday cheer.
So we're going to anticipate a lot of people coming down to Riverfront.
City officials say shopping, dancing, figure skating, caroling, and even a performance of Beauty and the Beast will all lead up to the annual Numerica tree lighting celebration.
I would call it heartwarming. You know, I work right up on the 5th floor, so I can look over the whole park and see people on the skate ribbon and just having fun.
And if it's not cold enough for you in downtown Spokane, you can get a glimpse of snow at Mount Spokane, where opening day is this weekend on Friday, November 29th.
We have our handle tow, which is basically like a rope tow in our terrain park. And then we're bringing tubing back to our operations as well, which will be at Lodge 1.
But that's not all. The Northwest Winter Festival may be your activity. Visitors can walk among an indoor illuminated lantern lights display at the Spokane Fairgrounds. With all the fun, the Inland Northwest is bound to be a place where memories are made this Thanksgiving.
The Numerica tree lighting celebration festivities will start at 4 p.m. on Saturday, November 30th, with the actual tree lighting at 6 p.m. In downtown Spokane, Regan Gallo, KREM 2.
For as long as we can remember, we've been coming to the Kitchen Engine. I'm Susan Hagan.
And I am Todd Hagan.
I'm the cook. I became a cook over COVID pretty much out of necessity, but I enjoy cooking. Todd is a great dishwasher.
Yeah. We have celebrated the day after Thanksgiving with a sale every year since we've been open, and it just keeps getting better and better. Hi, my name's Eric Frickel, and I'm the owner of the Kitchen Engine. It is an 18-year-old business here in the flour mill in downtown Spokane. On Black Friday, we usually have at least a couple hundred people lined up before we open the door. The doorbuster deals are what people line up for. We definitely have a regular named Mary Ann, and she is always first in line. And from what I understand, she sometimes takes a day off of work or several days off of work so that she can be first in line.
You got to get here early to get the good deals because they go quickly. I'm Mary Ann Driftmeyer. At this point, I pretty much have it all. So now, more than shopping for myself, it's wedding presents, birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas. You can never have enough knives.
Yeah. So what time do you get here?
Somewhere between 5:30 and 6 in the morning.
We've been doing the sale for at least 17 years and kind of just working on making it better and making traffic flow a little bit better, making it easy for everyone to shop. We started doing a free breakfast probably 10, 15 years ago. My parents, who are my business partners, come in and make pancakes for everybody. And lately we've been adding a bit more to it. So we'll have some scrambled eggs, we'll have some hash browns.
They pretty much have everything you need and a lot of things you didn't know you need.
I'm a proponent of local business. We really do try to shop locally, whether it's here, Kazuri, Vino, many local businesses is very important, and it's vital this time of year. They need your business, and so we hope that people will support businesses like Kitchen Engine.
Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 Plus. For the KREM 2 News Weekend Review, remember, you can always watch our latest newscast and weather forecast right here on KREM 2 Plus. Just click on the video in the bottom navigation menu. I'm Tim Pham. Thanks for watching.